explorers, wanderers, and starseeds. Welcome back to the Astral Tourist, everyone. In this latest journey, powered by a single Mugwort capsule, I soon found myself navigating astral realms full of surprises, doppelgangers with strange claims, a glowing orb that just wanted a hug, a podcast beaming through a retro TV from what certainly felt like the future, and finally a peaceful beach outside of time itself. So last night was quite the ride. Not totally and completely unexpected with Mugwort. I only took one capsule about an hour before going to bed, just enough to brighten things up a bit is what I was thinking. And yeah, it definitely delivered, and that's not always the case with me. Sometimes I take it for a couple of nights, sometimes 3 or 4, and then finally I have an experience with it. But this time it was just right there. Why? I don't know. What followed was a cascade of astral projections, partial lucidity at first, but things quickly got more colorful. In the first projection, I found myself in a vibrant room full of color, with people who looked like they stepped straight out of a British TV series. The weird part, they claimed to be my real parents. I wondered if I'd gotten sucked into the TV for a while there. Just kidding. I didn't actually think that. I mean, it might have crossed my mind briefly. I don't know anymore, but I knew better than that. So naturally, I wasn't buying it. So I inquired further. They said they didn't look the same as my real parents because they were my real parents' doppelgangers. So I know from previous experience that that's not right either. Doppelgangers will often feel very different but have very strong resemblances. So their personalities can be completely different, but they often resemble who they're supposed to resemble, and quite well. So that didn't feel right to me, again. So once more I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking, okay, command for their true form in my mind. So I did that. I did a true form command, which is my command to show me what's really going on here, like in case I'm dreaming over the top of an astral projection, or just, our minds interpret things as best as they can. And I just wanted like a clearer idea about what I was interacting with there. And I also tossed in a classic Clarity Now command to help boost my lucidity, which I knew wasn't like up to 100% yet anyway. So I saw the male figure become a very tall being with beautiful dark purple and blue colors. And he was nearly brushing the ceiling with his light form there, radiating a strong white energy field. The female became a roundish white orb, maybe 3 feet tall and wide. No particular features I could make out. Just a glowing sentient orb. I felt like it had some weight to it, some mass, but she floated up and asked for a hug. I wasn't sure how she was going to hug me as an orb there, but you know what? I gave her one because I sensed like zero weird vibes going on, just pure love coming off her, and it seemed like I reminded them of someone, a daughter perhaps. And she seemed very content with the hug, and they went on their way. And during the hug, I didn't sense anything particularly informative or special other than just a lot of love. And so I'm left wondering, who they were. I don't think they were trying to disguise themselves on purpose. I think my brain had just translated as best as it could. And then, with the heightened lucidity stuff I was doing, I was able to get a better picture. All I got from them was love. So I'm left wondering if they might be parents from like a distant past life I had on another planet or something like that. Because like I said, I can say with certainty they were not doppelgangers of my current life parents here in the physical. I've met some of them actually in the astral, and they were nothing like that. I do have some British ancestors though, so could they be doppelgangers of a British set of my past life British parents? I don't know. This is another Matrix-style puzzle, but the main vibes I was picking up off of them were definitely extraterrestrial, especially from the male. They had some very serious ET vibes happening there, along with the British vibes. So with so many past lives going on and everything, I don't know exactly who they were, but they were very loving. So, that's all I can figure out about that. After the orb hug, I wandered around and discovered a place that the whole place, was a towering skyscraper with many rooms. So I've been in quite a few of these in the astral. In one nicely furnished room, I found an old-fashioned TV, one of those boxy 1980s style models that are really big in the back and with the dials and everything. I turned it on, and get this, a man appeared doing what he called an astral projection podcast over the TV wires. That was about all I could get from him, unfortunately, though. The vibe was totally futuristic. There was a picture, just really quickly, in with static and numbers and other stuff, like Matrix-style stuff going on here. And the one image, the flickering image I got, was a handsome black man with short black knotted hair in a style I've never seen before. His crisp white shirt had a pattern I couldn't quite make out. It just got this nice, clean, crisp vibe from it, and him. So the sound was all garbled, and by sound I mean telepathically too, telepathically, sonically, everything. I just wasn't able to hear much of the podcast, so I floated closer trying to listen. I turned one of the dials on the TV up, but that did not help. And I was thinking, okay, I've got to give up here. I can't hear it anyway. I don't know what this is, but I'm not getting anything from it. So, and just as I was about to drift away, I clearly heard him say, "He is," and then he dropped the name of one of my friends who actually runs an actual astral projection podcast. Wild, right? So I told the guy I'd pass the message along. Hey, your futuristic doppelganger waves hello. I wish I could have heard the podcast. I had a feeling that it was very interesting, but that's all I had. So that's it for that one. Some time passed, and I later became lucid in yet another astral classroom. I'm always ending up in these classrooms as a teacher, or once in a while as a student. I don't know which I was this particular time. I think a teacher, but I'm not sure anymore. I don't know if I was still in the same skyscraper, but I was lucid enough to check my bags, which is always fun. So there's a tip for beginners. Always look in your bags. It's a fun thing to do, and see what you're carrying around. In my bag, I found 3 sets of eyeglasses, my usual 2, plus an old school 1970s style pair with little purple gemstones dotting the frames. So cute. There was also a long chain necklace. I put that on and looked at myself with 360-degree vision. In that moment, I was a moderately wispy form, but the necklace lit me right up, which I assume was its purpose. That's what a lot of these little trinkets and things do, because I know I like to go around semi-misty. That's normal for me. And so, to save things with energy aside that can light me up quickly is one of my little tips and tricks. I wore a Delt tank top and a short skirt, and that's not my usual style at all, so I don't know what that was about. A lot of times I'll just try to blend in, so if that's what everyone else had been wearing in my previous stop, that could be why. The necklace hung just below my waist, a long chain with decorations I couldn't fully make out. I think one was a turquoise bird or turtle. And then I just started packing loose crystals and coins that I knew were mine that were on the floor around the bag. I think it was around the floor. It might have been on a desk. I'm not sure anymore. And I noticed again my malachite was there. I have this malachite that I love. It's one of those small polished ones, and it just always seems to pop around and follow me in the astral. So while I was doing that, a man floated over to me. And can you guess who it was? The one I was talking about from before that actually has the podcast, only not like in a futuristic form or something. He just wanted to say a quick hello while he was on his way somewhere else. I told him I was planning to email him soon about his astral twin doing podcasts from the future through the astral cable box there. He grinned and said he had to get outside. Time is precious in the astral, so I just figured that was really nice of him to pop in and say that quick hello. I don't know, maybe he was checking up on me to see if I remembered the previous astral projection. Maybe he had no clue about it. I don't know yet. So, very, very fun and interesting, though, that I saw him twice in the same night. And I'm not 100% sure about the first time, actually, so I'm not getting too excited about that one, because remember, I wasn't 100% lucid. But this other time, definitely astral projection, definitely lucid. So in the last scene, I found myself in a car with two others riding along a winding road lined with trees in full autumn colors, gold, ambers, reds. I figured I had jumped into a future timeline. Whoever was driving mentioned it was a beautiful area, and I had to agree. I'm not sure, maybe somewhere like Michigan or Vermont, I don't know. We came out of the woods to a long, calm, sunlit beach. We got out to do our individual activities. One person manifested a Jeep, a whole big Jeep, and drove it out along the shoreline, splashing the waves. I was exhausted from all the astral activities throughout the night, so I sat in the sand to just take it all in. I was just ready to rest and look at the views. The water sparkled light blue and gray in the afternoon sun. In the distance, cliffs rose like a postcard. Overhead, a bird flew by about eagle-sized, but sleeker, more aerodynamic, with a curved beak and almost no gray feathers. I looked it up after waking, and the closest match would be like a Pteranodon or a pterodactyl, maybe. Some kind of a prehistoric bird in the astral. I just zoned out for a while and soaked in that afternoon sunshine. Later, a cherry tree just appeared instantaneously next to me with bright pink blossoms in full bloom. Someone nearby said, "Oh, that's a good sign." I nodded dreamily. I was probably back to dreaming while astral projecting at the same time by then, and I was soaking it all in, enjoying the cherry blooms there, and I woke up. So, to sum it all up, multiple projections, doppelgängers, beings of light, retro future tech, surprise visitations, time travel, and some serious beachside vibes, capped off with a prehistoric bird sighting and an auspicious cherry blossom tree. Wow, what a night. So, thanks so much for joining me on these journeys. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps a small channel like mine grow and reach even more curious minds. Until next time, happy astral travels.